There's a gap somewhere in your hot room right now. You cannot see it. You cannot feel it. It might be smaller than a pencil eraser, and it is making that room 12 degrees hotter than every other room in your house. Not your AC, not your insulation, not the way your house was built. A gap. And once I show you where it is and what it is doing, you are going to fix it this weekend for under $50. But first, I need to show you something that most people get completely wrong about the hot room problem, because if you have the wrong diagnosis, you will spend thousands of dollars on the wrong solution. And that is exactly what most people end up doing. Stay with me for the next 2 minutes. What I am about to show you is going to change how you think about every room in your house. Here is the question most people ask when they have a hot room. Is my AC too small? Is the ductwork bad? Do I need a new unit? Those are the wrong questions, and they are wrong because they assume the problem is with your cooling system. In the vast majority of homes with a persistent hot room, the cooling system is working exactly as it was designed to. The problem is what is happening to the cool air after it leaves the system. And the problem is what is getting into the hot room that was never supposed to be there. Your house is not a sealed box. You think it is. It feels like it is. But there are hundreds of small openings in the walls, ceiling, and floor of your home, around light fixtures, around pipes, around electrical boxes, along the edges of window frames that connect your living space to some of the hottest air on the planet, your attic. On a summer afternoon, your attic reaches 130 to 150 degrees, maybe higher. And that superheated air does not stay in the attic. It finds every gap it can, and it moves into wall cavities, down through ceiling penetrations, into the room directly below. And the room it moves into most aggressively is almost always the same room, the one at the top of the house, the one facing west or southwest, the one at the end of the duct run that already gets the least airflow. The hot room is not random, it is physics, and the gap is where the physics shows up. I am going to show you exactly where these gaps are in a moment, and then I am going to show you the fix. But first, I need to explain one more thing, because this is the part that nobody ever explains, and it is the reason the problem feels so mysterious. Your HVAC system is a closed-loop pressure system. For every cubic foot of cold air pushed into a room through the supply vent, an equal cubic foot of warm air must be able to exit that room and return to the air handler. That is how the loop closes. That is how the system works. Now here is what happens when the loop breaks. The most common way it breaks is through a door, specifically the gap under the door. Most interior doors have a 3/4 inch gap between the door bottom and the floor. That gap is not a flaw in your door. It is a designed feature. It is the return air path for the room. Warm air exits through that gap into the hallway where the central return vent picks it up. But if that gap gets blocked by a thick rug, new flooring, a door sweep someone added for noise, a door that was rehung slightly too low, the room becomes pressurized. Cool air is being pushed in through the supply vent, but warm air has nowhere to go. The room seals itself, and once it pressurizes, the supply vent essentially stops delivering air efficiently. You are trying to push cool air into a balloon that is already full. The room gets hotter. Not because of anything wrong with your AC, because you blocked a 3/4 inch gap under a door. That is one gap, and I am about to show you all the others. But first, here is why finding the right gap changes everything, and why the fix costs almost nothing once you know what you are looking for. Let me walk you through the complete map of where these gaps are, because this is the information that building scientists and energy auditors use when they come into a home. And it is almost never shared with homeowners. The first place is directly above your head. Every old-style recessed light fixture in your ceiling, the kind most homes built before 2010 have, is essentially a hole. The housing sits in the attic space. Around the bulb socket, the trim ring, and the wire entries, there are open gaps connecting your living room ceiling to 140-degree attic air. A single old recessed light can leak 50 cubic feet of air per hour. If your hot room has 6 of those fixtures, you have a 140-degree air source pouring heat directly into the room continuously. Every hour the system runs. The second place is the attic hatch. The frame around a standard pull-down attic stair or attic hatch has almost no weather stripping and almost no insulation. The gap around the frame is often a 1/4 inch on all 4 sides. Surface temperatures on attic hatches have been measured at 130 degrees or higher. If your attic access is near your hot room, you have a direct thermal portal sitting in the ceiling above you. The third place is one almost nobody ever thinks about: the top of your interior walls. Where the wall framing meets the ceiling, there is almost always a gap between the top plate of the stud wall and the drywall above it. That gap connects to the wall cavity below, and wall cavities connect to the attic. Hot attic air can literally flow down inside your walls into the living space. You cannot see it happening, but a thermal camera shows it as bright orange streaks running down interior walls, heat pouring through channels that have been open since the house was built. The fourth place is your electrical outlets on exterior walls. There is no air barrier behind a standard electrical box on an exterior wall. The gap between the box and the wall cavity is a direct path for outside air, in summer, hot outside air, to move into the room. And the fifth place is your duct system itself. Where the ductwork connects to the ceiling or floor register, called the boot, there's almost always a gap between the boot and the drywall or subfloor. Studies by Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory found that the average home loses 20 to 30% of its conditioned air through duct leaks before it ever reaches the living space, and in a hot room at the end of a duct run, that number is almost always worse than average. The air that should be cooling your room is cooling your attic instead. Now you know where the gaps are. Here is how to find the specific ones in your house. And then here is the fix. There is a professional technique called pressure mapping. Building scientists use it to diagnose hot rooms. You do not need any equipment to do a version of it yourself. You just need a piece of tissue paper. Close all interior doors in your home. Turn the system on full cooling. Crack the door to the hot room about 1 inch. Hold a piece of tissue paper at the crack. If the tissue paper pushes into the room, if it moves inward from the hallway, the room is positively pressurized. Supply air is getting in, but return air cannot get out. Look at the door undercut first. That gap is probably blocked. If the tissue paper pulls out of the room, if it moves from the room into the hallway, the room is negatively pressurized. It is drawing in outside air through gaps in the walls, ceiling, and floor to compensate for the pressure imbalance. Those gaps are your problem, and they are in the ceiling above you or the walls around you. The goal is neutral pressure. The tissue paper barely moves. When you achieve that, the room is balanced, the loop is closed, the system can do its job. Now let me show you what to do about each type. If the room is positively pressurized, tissue pushes inward. Start with the door. Get on your knees and look at the gap under the door. It should be at least 3/4 inch. If a rug is covering it, move the rug. If a door sweep is blocking it, remove it or raise it. If the door was rehung and sits too low, the fix is trimming the door bottom. A carpenter can do it in an hour. You can do it yourself with a circular saw and a straight edge. That single fix, restoring a 3/4 inch gap under the door, has resolved hot room problems that had stumped HVAC technicians for years. Because no HVAC technician ever looks at the bottom of the door. It is not part of the mechanical system. It is a carpentry issue. And it falls in the gap between trades the same way the air falls through the gap in the door. If there is no return vent in the room at all, the door gap helps but may not fully solve it. In that case, a transfer grill, a small louvered opening cut into the wall above the door connecting the room to the hallway, creates a permanent return air path, $20 to $30 in materials, an afternoon of work, and a room that has been hot for years starts behaving like a normal room. If the room is negatively pressurized, tissue pulls outward, the gaps are your problem. And here's the fix sequence, starting with the cheapest and highest impact first. Start at the attic hatch if there is one near the hot room. Add weather stripping around the frame. Cut a piece of rigid foam insulation to fit the back of the hatch door and glue it on. Target R30 or better. This single fix can reduce attic-sourced heat gain into the room by 40%. The materials cost $20 to $40, and the project takes an afternoon. Next, go to the recessed lights. From the attic side, place an airtight dome over each fixture. These are sold as recessed light covers at any home improvement store, $8 to $15 each. They seal the housing from the attic air and eliminate that 50 cubic feet per hour leak from each fixture. If your hot room has 6 fixtures, you have just closed 300 cubic feet of hot attic air per hour that was pouring into the room. Next, go to the electrical outlets on exterior walls. Take the cover plate off each outlet or switch on an exterior wall. Behind the box, between the box and the wall cavity, there's a gap. Foam gaskets, sold in packs of 10 for under $5, install behind the cover plate in 2 minutes each. They block the air path from the wall cavity into the room. Last, seal the window rough openings. Use low expansion spray foam, specifically the window and door formula, not standard expanding foam which can bow the frame. Run a bead around the perimeter of every window frame in the hot room where it meets the wall. Any gap you can see light through, you can seal in 30 seconds. Now I need to tell you something that almost nobody in the home improvement space ever says, because it is uncomfortable and it costs contractors business. The most effective fixes for a hot room cost under $200. They take a weekend. They do not require a service call. They do not require a new unit. When an HVAC company comes to look at your hot room and tells you the system is undersized, they are not necessarily lying. But they are skipping steps. The correct sequence is air seal first, restore return air second, seal the ducts third, and then, only after those steps are done, consider new equipment. Every professional building scientist agrees on this sequence. The industry skips to equipment replacement because that is where the revenue is. A tube of duct mastic and a bag of foam gaskets does not generate a $5,000 invoice. And here is the number that puts it all in perspective. The average homeowner with a persistent hot room problem spends between $300 and $600 per year in wasted electricity fighting a pressure and air sealing problem with their thermostat every year for as long as they live in the house. The weekend fix costs $50 and eliminates that waste permanently. There is one more thing I want to leave you with, and it is the reason building scientists get frustrated when they walk into homes. Insulation is not the same as air sealing. This is the most common misconception in home energy efficiency. People add more insulation to the attic thinking it will fix the hot room. It helps, but only partially. Because insulation slows heat moving through solid materials. It does nothing about heat moving through air. If you have a gap in your ceiling, letting 140-degree attic air flow directly into a wall cavity, adding more insulation to the attic floor does not stop that air. It flows around the insulation through the gap. Air seal first, then insulate. That is the sequence that works. That is the sequence that building science has established clearly, and that is the sequence almost nobody follows because almost nobody explains it. The gap is where the heat comes from. The gap costs almost nothing to close. And the room that has been hot for years becomes a normal room the first weekend after you close it. So here's what I want you to do this week. Do the tissue paper test. Find out which direction your hot room is pressurized. Then work down the fix list that matches your result. Start with the door gap and the attic hatch. Do those two things first. Then check the recessed lights and the outlet gaskets. Then seal around the windows. Give the system one full day after each fix to show you the result before you move to the next one. And tell me in the comments, what did the tissue paper do? Which way did it move? And how long has that room been driving you crazy? I read every single comment, and I already know what most of the answers are going to sound like. If this gave you something real, something you can actually do this weekend for $50 or less, please hit that like button. It helps more than you know. And subscribe if you want to keep getting honest, practical information about your home without the markup. Thank you for watching, stay comfortable, and I will see you in the next one.